Life, it changes you. 110%. It's a funny thing. 1 minute you're running riot, unopposed as the youngest and cutest in your family. And the next you're given the title of uncle, and you find yourself looking around the world in ways you never even imagined. Is this good for them? Is that? If I introduce this into their lives, what's the worst that could happen? I definitely asked those questions. I weighed those options. I walked the tightrope of what was absolutely the right thing to do and what would make me look cool. It was serious business, and business picked up once I became a father. Believe me, nothing hits harder than that responsibility. It's a very stressful thing. Not that I don't love it, but life was so much more simple just sitting in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal watching Saturday morning cartoons. Now my nephews are in their prime even if they don't know it. Not really children but not yet fully grown. And Lillian's only 5. Their worlds are nearly formed. With Lillian I try to mix in some of the old classics. But for all of them, their world is very much knee-deep in pop culture. Sometimes, with my nephews and my daughter, I have found that to be a bit troubling. Can you blame me? Have you seen Saturday morning cartoons these days? My name is Joey F. Misfit, and I would like nothing more than to revive the magic of Saturday morning. Here are some ideas. I'd say for about the last 20 years or so, animation studios have been working overtime. They've been injecting in their projects humor and themes that get laughs but they go over the heads of children. And they land firmly in the hearts and minds of adults. While I'm sure there are certain parent groups that take offense to this, but I think most of us would agree that it's really helpful when you're watching a show over and over for days on end like children like to do. Lillian, I love you very much. The way I see it, there's a whole pantheon of characters that have gone missing from pop culture. Ones that would certainly benefit from being played in this style. Why is it that even years after buying Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers only seems content in exploiting one IP? Does anybody know? How about you? Do you know? Listen, I'm a super fan of a certain dog and his crew of meddling kids. But there's more than enough room for another animated dog. Especially a hard-working, banjo-playing, singing blue one. Look, there's no playing favorites here. My childhood came long after Huckleberry Hound had premiered and disappeared from television. But I caught his show in reruns while vacationing in Florida. I think it played during the Bozo Show that I can only watch down here. And then later I saw it on Cartoon Network. You know, when Cartoon Network was still cool. The thing that stands out to me to this day about that show and that character is that he had a load of jobs. And then throughout each episode, he would see more than his fair share of opposition. But he always found a way to calmly get things done, to overcome. Life isn't perfect. Things come up always. And life is about how you adjust. It seems pretty obvious to me that kids today could certainly benefit from that kind of message. None of us have to be defined by the communities we live in, but we should all be aware that we have a responsibility to define our communities. With so many creatures that live in the ocean, I think this lesson could be the backbone of a reboot for the Snorks. It could lead to all sorts of adventures while exploring teamwork and taking care of the environment. A big fan of theatrics over here, from F-bombs to dramatic pauses. I think once I heard Meatloaf I was hooked. Naturally, I would love to see the return of the most theatrical cartoon character ever.
Snagglepuss.
My idea would see him accept what would seem like the perfect job offer, and then have to deal with all the highs and lows that come with being a drama teacher. Along the way, he would manage to teach an invaluable lesson that everyone needs to hear. And that lesson is, You could be whoever you want to be. Not every kid grows up with both parents living under the same roof. I didn't know it at first, but I learned it along the way. It seems to me that Augie Doggie and Doggy Daddy is the perfect place to see that reflected in an animated show. One that aims to bring understanding and humor can make a real difference to kids living with divorce, and it could possibly stir up some compassion in ones that aren't. With these ideas, I've tried to examine a character or franchise and reinforce what makes them special in a modern way. I thought that would allow for the kind of humor and themes that would be funny and helpful to children, and insightful and funny to adults. I leave the right of validation in your hands. If you've gotten this far in my video, only you can tell me if these ideas are good or bad. Whatever you determine, thank you for watching. I hope we all find the magic of Saturday morning again.